Hi and welcome along to the All Guns Blazing podcast with my man DT. Brought to you today in association with Calio, right? I told you about Calio last week. Calio is the calendar app where you get to follow everything that ArsenalFanTV do. So if you want to know about our videos coming up, if you want to know where we are at the ground, if you want to know anything we're up to, follow us on the calendar app called Calio. The link is in the description. You know what? See that? Sweat top, they said to give you that.
Yeah?
Don't say I don't give you nothing, man.
All right.
Yeah?
Does it let them know when your wife's got a new kitchen?
Right. Big guy, right. So that's yours.
Thanks.
All right, this one, I'm going to give it away to anybody who makes a really good comment. Not just an abuse comment, right?
And not a comment about me being in prison or on parole.
Not about me being his parole officer and stuff like that. A nice comment to do with whatever we talk about on today's show. You can win yourself a Calio sweat top. Very good quality, actually, and nice. I like this. I've got one. All right, so look out for that. Right, let's get straight into it. We're out of the Europa League.
Yay.
It was a nice, it was a nice journey. Along the way, beat AC Milan, Red Star Belgrade, CSKA Moscow, Östersunds, Cologne. Came up, got to the semi-finals. We was thinking avoid Atletico Madrid at all costs. We didn't. We got them. And over the two legs, lost 2-1, which is not disgraceful because they are a very, very good team. They're not a Europa League team. They're a Champions League team, really. But ultimately, it's failure, and we are out of the Europa League. You was there. And by the way, enough respect to you, man. You know what I mean? Because I know you've had that major operation recently, and I know people talk about these guys being fake fans and hustlers and things like that, right? And this guy's had a major operation, and he still made it out there to Madrid, but it just went horribly wrong.
Yeah,
and we're out.
I know it's like the morning after the night before. I'm kind of more angry today than I was last night.
Yeah?
Believe it or not, yeah.
You're pretty angry last night. Or was that you more angry at the police last night?
Yeah, the police are fucking dickheads, man. I can't stand the Spanish police. You know what? The thing is, let me speak about that quickly, right? But I want to clear something up because obviously I've had people from the club contact me, and there's been various people that the club have contacted because a lot of incidents happened, and there's a few videos on social media about the Spanish police and what happened. I came out at the end of the game. I waited till most of the crowd had gone because obviously I can't be in the middle of big crowds in case I get whacked in the stomach and stuff like that. So I'm kind of cautious of what I'm doing and whatnot. Came out, I'm right outside where the entrance is to go into like the actual stand. There's like a set of toilets and they'd closed them and they were being patrolled by police officers with dogs. Now these things were
dogs,
like they were
German shepherds,
right? These things looked like they were on steroids. They were hench.
They look like wolves.
You know what I mean? The only thing that made you a bit like, okay, that's not bad, is that they had muzzles on. But then at the same time, you thought, fuck me, there's a reason why they got muzzles on, because they'll probably eat you. And it was like, I went up to the guy and I said to him first, I said, do you speak English? And he said to me, a little. And I then tried to say to him, I said, like, you've closed the toilet. I said, can I use the toilet? I said, I really need to use this toilet, or where's the nearest toilet?
Which is a bit ridiculous, closing the toilets anyway.
And I said, do you have a disabled toilet or anything else? Now, with my medical condition and what's wrong with me, I have a card which you can use all over Europe. And it basically is like a priority card with toilets and stuff like that. And you can go into businesses that don't have public toilets. And yes, it's still their discretion, but they can let you use their, and 9 times out of 10, most people have got common sense and it's fine. And I was trying to explain to him. And then I said to him, can I show you? Just like even explain to him, first of all, I'm going to reach down here. I'm not trying to grab nothing. I just want to show you. And I actually showed him like where I've had my operation and like it's all covered up and it's got all the bandaging over it and everything else. I'm trying to explain to him. I said, I just need to know where I can use the toilet, please. And he then turned around, he was looking at me, big smile on his face, and then he said something in Spanish, and his dog just went pounced on me.
So you think it was our prompt to the dog?
Yeah, it must be. The dog, literally, his paws were here, straight into my stomach. And it was just like, it made me just jolt, and I was just like, what the fuck? And I looked at him, and I was just like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he's just laughing, fuck you, fuck you. And we're like, and there was loads of Arsenal fans still around. They started shouting at him, and we're like, what are you doing? You're a fucking wanker. The man's asking to use the toilet. And there was an Arsenal delegate that come over. Like, I don't think he was one of the British ones from the club. It was like more of a Spanish-speaking one. But someone to do with something anyway, and he could speak Spanish and English. And he tried calming the situation, and he was saying to me, like, basically, there's not much I can do. You know, what I say, they don't give a fuck. You know, you look at them, they're all wearing all black, they got all their fucking
they look
shit
proper,
on, and
proper.
no badge numbers,
the
no
thing
nothing.
Is about it, yeah, that's what they just look,
you know,
like.
and then what happened then?
And they looked like.
Yeah, and then what happened then is about 4 or 5 other officers come over, and a couple of them had dogs, and a couple of them had these hench fucking batons already drawn. And we were just like, nah, we need to just get out of here, man.
Well, they're outside, they used them batons on a couple of fans.
I've seen one of the videos.
And also, you know, they were just very aggressive. And, you know, you know, when you go abroad now to games, and the policing at some of these games, and I've got to say, first of all, that the Arsenal officials that they send out to these games, they do a fantastic job.
Yeah,
they really do, because I think without them, I'm not sure all the time how smooth things would go, but they do a great job. They obviously they know the English fans. They liaise with the police and that and officials over there, and it always normally goes smoothly. But a lot of the times when I've gone to games abroad, I do think to myself that some of the police, it's like they can't wait for something to...
So many of us were saying that
and the football's changed now, especially when it comes to English fans. I think they've got it in their heads. The old English fans.
We're English, so...
Yeah, we're English, so, you know, be careful, man, because these guys are going to kick off and that. And I just think, you go to grounds, they always put you so high up.
Yeah.
They've got this ridiculous... Last night, it's such a beautiful ground that they've got at Atletico, that they've built there. But when they put you so high up and they put all this netting in front of you and stuff like that, if you don't trust the fans above to, you know, then don't have it up there. Put them somewhere else. All this netting in front of you, it spoils your enjoyment.
Yeah.
And it's like every ground, the majority of grounds you go to in Europe, I just find the actual match day experience
not nice.
Is poor in comparison to going to games in England away from home, because... I don't know, maybe a lot of their teams, they're not used to having lots of away fans, and I know there are grounds like especially in Spain. There's a lot of times in Spain, you know, even big teams will come to play there, and they'll be lucky to get like 100 fans coming from the away team. But in England, because maybe those grounds are all used to getting like loads and loads of away fans from every single team, they know, and plus as well, they're more... They allow the fans to be a bit more responsible. All this netting stuff and that, it gets on my nerves. It spoils your enjoyment.
I know what you mean. If I look at the Europa League games this season, the one ground I went to where I was really like, oh no, was the one at Red Star in Serbia.
Yeah.
But yet they were probably the best.
Yeah, it was a great atmosphere there.
Atmosphere was great. The police let you go and do what you were doing. There was no netting. There was no separation.
Although the police, I've never seen that many police in my life. And I would not have messed with those police in Serbia.
But the difference with them,
they had guns.
The difference with them police, right? They stood back. They watched you. They let you know that they're there. You knew their presence.
You know
you remember walking in, and they had like snipers up on top of that derelict building, and it looked like something from Call of Duty. And I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
So when I was walking to that ground, it was like being in Fortnite.
Oh man!
I was walking right, and like, trust me, there was like some police in black, some police in military fatigues. Some police. I was like, honestly, man. But
all they did was let their presence be known. But they never came near you. They never tried, you know.
But don't you think when you go,
anything?
Don't you think when you go to all these grounds, right, that you then realise that, you know, much as we sometimes give police grief in this country, when it comes to like organising football, I think these police and authorities over here in England have got it down to a T. I know.
Apart from when Cologne turn up.
Well, yeah, but now come on, that's but I think the way in which they allow fans to be responsible over here, they allow fans to be, you know, they will listen. If it kicks off, they're in.
Yeah.
The police, they're in. They got their horses. They're in. But they don't. They kind of take a step back, and they want you to have and enjoy yourself.
And the thing is,
whereas last night, those police they're like, you can see they can't wait.
And this is the thing, right? The one thing that I've noticed when these foreign fans come to our country, one of the biggest things within the culture of foreign football is huge banners, flares, all this kind of stuff, and we allow it.
Yeah, we allow it. We put them on the bottom tier. I think next season in the Europa League, which we're going to be in, unfortunately again,
Great.
Put them up in the gods.
Yeah, but this is the thing.
Why are we going
nice.
to these places, right? We're right up on the roof, like when we was at the San Siro. There's flipping netting in front of us and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then they come to our place and right down at the bottom, they're loud. You can hear. You know,
Exactly.
Imagine if you would have had last night. You would have had all those Arsenal fans. I think it was about 5,000 of them, right? They were down where you know, the Atletico fans were.
Yeah, down in the lower tier.
It's almost like we're giving these teams now, when they come to our place, an unfair advantage, because when we go, we're hidden away.
Well, the thing is,
we need to do the same thing to them. Next season, same thing when it comes to European games.
The best way of, you know, describing it is the fact that within our own football, within the FA, is that they've already recognised that it's not fair that away fans get stuck in the gods, which is why the new rule is away fans have to be in a lower tier.
Yeah,
the only
apart from
team
Newcastle.
they got an exception this year, didn't they? They got
and I heard they got another year.
I haven't heard that. I heard they only had this year.
Now, I was chatting to Matty from the Magpie channel on the Newcastle channel. He said to me, apparently they got another year.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
I know.
That is.
That's
why they've been given 2 years.
And even there, when you go there, there's no netting or nothing, is there? I said, do you see that last night? It's like you're looking for a double netting.
That's just a joke, man.
Come on, man. I mean, respect. And the amount of money, and again, I'm going to give a lot of respect to Arsenal Football Club for this right now, because they don't, a lot of times they get, you know, people criticise them. Last night they subsidised the price of the tickets because the Atletico, they were trying to rip the fans off really by bumping up the price of the tickets nearly like 80, 90 euros for a ticket.
I'd have been pissed paying nearly 80 quid for that view.
And Arsenal subsidised half of the tickets and brought it right down to about 30 odd euros. So respect to Arsenal for that. Respect to Arsenal, respect to all of their staff and that for all of those away games, right? That's been in Europe. Honestly, they always, from what I see, they always look after the fans. They do a fantastic job. But some of those police last night, nah, man, they were
waste.
They couldn't wait.
Yeah, they wanted retaliation.
Could have done with a bit of that fight though on the pitch.
Yeah, we could
from
have
our
done.
players.
Could have done
because
there was none. Absolutely zero. Bullshit performance. Semi-final, 90 minutes away from our final, and you put in that kind of performance. Explain to me why these players were rested at Man United on Sunday.
I mean, I wouldn't say there was no effort.
No, there weren't. Right.
There was effort.
There was effort.
Come on, there wasn't.
But there was no. But they looked. Some of them looked tired. Some of them looked dead on their feet, especially with the last 20 minutes. And I'm sitting there going, these players have been getting rest left, right, and centre. They've been getting rested all the time.
He's the past 6 weeks. He's been rested nearly every. You know.
He's had flu. If
Ozil
was still in school, his parents would have been fined. The amount of times that he's been ill. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, my thoughts on him. I love the guy. But when he plays poorly, I'll out him.
I heard that Martin Keown ripped him.
Yeah, ripped him.
On TV. I haven't heard it, but people are saying to me that Martin Keown went in on him
I
last
watched
night.
It this morning. It was him and Jermaine Genius. And to be fair, they were both contrasting views, Genius and Keown. But they were very equal in what they had to say. There was both had very good arguments. Like Genius was more sticking up for Ozil in the sense of he was saying that he is a luxury player, and when you don't play to his strengths and you get it all wrong, he looks out of place and he looks awful. But when you get it right, he's world class. Now, when he plays for Germany, they have the right ingredients around him to make him tick. When he played at Real Madrid, they had the right ingredients around him to make him tick. At Arsenal, They haven't got the right ingredients around him. It's complete mess.
But a world-class player, yeah?
But he isn't one of those. This is the other thing that we're saying. He's not a Vieira that's going to grab the game by the scruff of the neck and charge through that middle.
Then he ain't world-class then.
Well, this is...
The world-class player for me, yeah, is that player that makes the difference. When Griezmann last week, they had not even a sniff in the whole game. One little slip up, boom, 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 goal.
Yeah, there was a lot of...
That's what's one of
There's an element of luck in that.
But that's what's got them through.
Yeah. But
yeah? Those world-class players are the ones that say, yeah, give me the ball, man. I'm going to make it. You know, we're up against it right now. But give it to me.
It's...
Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo. Yo, give me the ball, man.
Yeah, it's a different breed,
right?
Man. It's,
right? Messi, give me the ball. Let me go and make things happen. Even other players. There's
Robbie,
other players. There's other players out there. Tony Cruz, give me the ball.
We need
Modric, give me the ball, man. Let me try and make something happen.
Yeah, but look what's around those guys. They haven't got fucking calamity behind them. They haven't got absolute bullshit behind them.
But there was times last night when Ozil, there's one time...
Oh, I'm not saying last night.
There's one time. So this is what annoys me about Ozil, right? One time last night, he done a brilliant little move where he made an opening for himself. Got through.
Should have shot.
Instead of now drawing a shot at the keeper, bang it. You know, the keeper could pull off a save. It could be a rebound, someone running in. He's trying to cross it. And you know how good their defence is, going in, and those guys, they just put a block in. To me, sometimes he's not brave enough.
Yeah.
I want a player that sometimes is brave and says, right, that's what I'm saying. With like a guy like Cristiano Ronaldo, he'd be like, yeah, give me the ball and I'm going to have a bang right now. I'm going to have a go. I'm going to take this by the scruff of the neck. And I'm not about like just, you know, I'm on about like actually I'm going to take responsibility now for this game. I'm going to have a few shots. I'm going to bring some saves out and I'm going to inspire my other teammates to do that. Ozil, he'll be on the fringes.
The thing is...
sorry, just before you come in there, I heard this guy, and I can't remember which report it was in Germany one time. They were talking about Ozil, and they said that Ozil is a guy that he's good when it's going good. But when he's going bad, don't rely on him to make things better.
Yeah.
And that's not a world-class player then.
No, I know what you're saying. It's, you know, I look at, like, you're talking about this whole crossing thing. I think that's something that's been instilled within the team from the training pitches, because he's not the only one who does it. How many years have we sat there and watched players in clear positions and we're in the crowd, shoot, and they're trying to pass, and you do like, what are you doing?
And Granit Xhaka yesterday had a great shot. He's from quite far out, and he bought. I think that was probably our own shot on target.
Yeah.
Bought a great save out of All Black. Why are we not doing that more? You know, I think about players.
Does it get fined?
I think about players like when Coutinho was at Liverpool. That guy, if he's just got to be in range, bang. He'll have 3, 4, 5 shots per game.
Maybe a new manager is going to allow him off the reins.
You know, we're trying to walk the ball. You're not going to walk the ball into the back of the net against Atletico Madrid when they are probably the best defensive team in world football, right? In world football, right? They're well organised. They're well marshalled. 2 banks of 4 with 2 guys up front. You know, they're so well organised, and we're trying to intricately pass around these guys. If that's not working, what's the next plan?
Yeah.
You know, Ozil, as one of the, you know, like Lee Gunner said last night, he's on £350,000 a week now. Now we're expecting a lot of this guy.
Yeah.
In these type of games, when it's tight, you're our man.
No, I know,
you're our
I
man
know what
to
you're
step
saying.
up.
You know what? There's so many things that I look back on that annoy me from last night. Not just his performance. Nacho Monreal's probably one of the worst games I've seen him play
His
this
crossing
season.
last night.
His crossing, it was like he had turned into Hector Bellerin. Hector Bellerin turned back into Hector Bellerin with his crossing. I thought Callum Chambers done really well when he came on.
Callum Chambers was right.
I thought Granit Xhaka played well last night as well. I thought he was decent in there.
Yeah, he was all right.
I think him and Chambers are the two that can hold their head up. I felt sorry for Lacazette because the service again, he was having to come so deep, so wide to get the ball constantly. He's not in his first, this whole season, Robbie, we still have not played to that man's strengths.
No.
Right? And I tell you what's annoyed me, right, and why I blame Arsene Wenger as well for this result, is over 180 minutes, there's one glaring thing that I could see, and so many people could see watching this game, was we needed width. Big time. That was how you were going to pull their rigid back line apart. You had to use width. Not once did he go, you know what, I'm going to change this around. I'm going to actually,
But mind you, there was a couple of times in the game where we had width. And the crosses that came in were either overhit deep crosses.
But what I mean is not Monreal
players as well. Okay, cheers.
Yeah, I don't mean Monreal.
They just hit it straight into the first play.
No, I don't mean Monreal Bellerin. I mean someone that actually stayed on that touchline and stayed out wide. And what also annoyed me last night was 15 minutes or so to go. We need a goal. There's still one substitution left, and he never used it. At what point did Arsene Wenger not sit there and say, right, there's a couple of options I can do here. I can take Granit Xhaka off, for example, as the defensive midfielder, right? Because we don't need a defensive midfielder. We've got to score a fucking goal, for Christ's sake, right? And put Enquiries on, right? And go with like 2-3 of them up front. Welbeck, Enquiries, thing. And then at least in the last 15, just throw the kitchen sink at it. And if they counter us and score a second, we've given everything we can.
And it's still the same. Because then you still got to score 2 goals to win.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? But there was nothing.
Yeah.
There was no change. There was no, or he could have turned around and said, right, I'm going to take Hector Bellerin off and I'm going to go 3 at the back. Yeah, with Monreal, Chambers and Mustafi. Put another attacker on. And let's just go for it in this last 15 minutes.
I agree with you.
Do or die.
Why Eddie Nketiah?
Why take him if you're not going to play him?
I don't know what... This guy came on against Norwich. I know it's Norwich, it's not Atletico Madrid. But he came in against Norwich and he just had that instant impact, right? Every time I've seen him come on, which has been hardly ever since that, but in little spurts he's looked threatening. He's given problems, yeah? We need a goal, like you said. Just throw him on.
Exactly.
Throw him, try something.
I can't believe that nothing was...
There was nothing, Robbie. You just brought on Mkhitaryan and that was it. Try something.
How can you not use your final substitution?
Why didn't Mkhitaryan come on earlier?
That's what I mean.
Why didn't he start? I know he's just coming back from injury.
I know why Jack come off. Because
I understood the Jack thing because he was on a yellow card.
Yeah, and just before that incident, he was chasing, I think it was Costa, and he nearly went to...
you see him
and
like...
you see him like, I need to bring him down.
Chopping him down now, and he's like, oh, I'm on a yellow card.
And then he stopped,
yeah,
and then I think the bench looked and went... I think even the ref looked as if to say, if you would have caught him then...
And I'm going to get to that ref as well.
Yeah, he was a fucking dickhead.
That ref last night, he allowed every little cynical move that Atletico, and they're great at doing that, he allowed every last bit of it. That ref was rubbish last night.
I know. Do you
really
know what?
Was.
He didn't
allow the game to flow.
I look at over the 2 legs, right, and what I've got out of these 2 legs, right, is Wenger's lasting legacy from recent times, which is our defence. It's always been the biggest problem, and that's what we will always remember it by. And it's just so Arsenal-like. 2 goals were scored against us, and both were defensive errors. Both goals. The tie should have been over at the Emirates.
They were down to 10 men.
For 80 minutes.
Had 27 shots.
The tie should have been over, Robbie. We should have been going there yesterday, like I said to you last week, getting a tan. Not you. Like as you pointed out. Let me make that clear. Robbie pointed out, not me, yeah? But we should have been going there yesterday, fully relaxed, already planning Lyon.
And if we'd have went there about 3-0 up, we would have went through.
You see what I mean? And it was just like... But it was... The damage was done in the first leg with that stupid error.
But what is Hector Bellerin doing? We're like just about to go in for half time, yeah? And this is not the first time this season I've seen this guy get done on the wrong side. This man play week in, week out. Even my son and them, when they play
Switching off, Robbie.
Right, the coaches are saying to the kids, oh, come on, you can't make people get on the wrong side.
Switching off.
What is these guys' concentration levels?
There isn't.
This is a semi-final. You've got to be switched on. You're up against the best players.
This is where...
It's Diego Costa.
This is where you need leaders.
These are top players.
This is where you need leaders as well. Because
he should be a leader himself.
I know that.
I know he's only, he's 22, 23, but he's an experienced 22 player. What I'm saying
is, let's say for argument's sake, he had Vieira or Tony Adams alongside him there. Then notice that in seconds. Switch on. Focus. Even before the incident, you would have your leader of your team saying to everyone, oi, we're going into injury time, right? The board's just gone up, 3 minutes, and you know the smasher. Go watch my vlog. Go watch my vlog from last night's game. The clip right before the actual goal, I was talking and I was saying, injury time, 3 minutes has just gone up on the board. I said, first 25, 30 minutes, we started off really good, but we've let them back in the last 10, 15 minutes. We really need half time to come now and just go and get our heads back in the game. Next clip, within 30 seconds, I was like, fucking told you so. What's just gone and happened? Because I could see it with my own eyes. In the first 25, 30 minutes, I felt we were in control of the game. We had good possession, and I felt that we just lacked a little bit of cutting edge up front.
Yeah, we started well.
The ball wasn't falling in the right places. There were a few moments where you were like, oh, if that ball was right, if there were... And I was feeling like... And
they started well, they were probing.
One Diego Costa chance very early in the game.
Yeah.
I felt very comfortable. I was already looking at it and saying, yep, Atletico are set up how I thought they would, which is sit back, try and counter us, but they're not really a threat. Griezmann had a chance just before the goal, which was all because of David Ospina trying to play the ball out like a clown. So it was our own errors that he got that, not because they carved us open. And I could see it. And I looked at the board at 3 minutes and I was like, get through to half time, get it into their heads and get ourselves back into this game. Because if you remember in the first leg, we dominated for the first half an hour or so. And I even said to you, for the last 10 minutes of that first half, they came on strong. And we were like, whoa, we've got to get into half time here because they were starting to get in and amongst us. And then we took over in the second half. And I started to see the same pattern again. And I was like, just get in at half time, knock your heads a bit, get your focus right, and let's go again in the second half. Worst time to concede a goal is right on the stroke of half time. I don't know what Bellerin was doing, whether he's thinking about brushing his hair or fucking whatever. But he switched off. And at this level, you switch off, you get punished. It's as simple as that. You're not playing against Ostersunds, with all due respect. If Bellerin would have switched off like that against Ostersund, probably got away with it. To be honest, although saying that,
we switched off in that as well.
Wait. Saying that, Ostersund's away. Bellerin switched off for a few seconds in the 90th minute, and he gave away a penalty because he got on the wrong side of a player.
Again, another example.
Maybe I was wrong. No, maybe Ostersund would have punished him.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. This is not the first time this season.
Remember, he tackled him from behind because he got the wrong side of him. How can you let, like you said, from children's ages, your boy is what, under 9s now?
Under 9s.
Yeah, my boy is like under 8s. Kieran's under 18s. It doesn't matter what level you're at. It's goal side.
This guy was saying to me, man, he goes, you know what? He goes, Robbie, I said this at January. A lot of people had a go at me. He goes, Debuchy, much better right back than Bellerin.
Well, the thing was, do you remember when Debuchy come back and he was playing the Carabao Cup games and stuff? We were like, oi, Debuchy looks decent.
This guy, for me, Bellerin, has had a poor season.
Poor. Real poor.
I don't think he's as bad as what he's, but I don't know if he's the coaching or whatever.
Would you see him under a new manager or do you want him gone? Do you think we should
like Hector Bellerin. I like Hector Bellerin. I'd like to see him under a new manager to see what the new manager... But I need, for me, competition has to come in for him so that he realises that if he's not on it, you're not going to be starting.
Because he has effectively had no competition all season.
Yeah, and he's like one of those players that always knows he plays. And I just feel that some of the mistakes he's made this season, he's just not looked solid enough at right back. And sometimes he's not looked strong enough either. He's been like pushed off the ball too easily.
Even last night, when he got level with Costa, his pace got him back side to side with him, and then Costa just leaned.
Yeah.
And then
Costa is a big guy.
I know, but even so, but the thing what annoyed me about Ospina is that the angle Costa came in, because Bellerin came across this side, Bellerin had naturally cut out the angle to shoot round the goalkeeper. Why was Ospina already on the floor and making it easy? Right? You don't need to go on the floor because your option over here, Costa can't bend the ball here because Bellerin's there. There's only one option. You stand on your feet, he's got to go near post to you. The moment you dive, Costa goes, oh, cheers, mate. Lift that over you. Thanks. Yeah, average, get in the bin.
Honestly, you know, the way...
He's got a nice chance.
All season long, the way in which we have given away goals so
Comical.
easily. And then you watch a team like Atletico, and you've got to admire the way it's so hard to score against them. And I just long for. I don't like. I'm going to be honest now. I don't like the style of player I saw over the 2 legs from Atletico. I don't know. I don't know if I'd like to see that every week. I like attacking football. I like passing and moving.
It's
and
about
stuff
getting
like
the right balance.
But I want to see a solid defence similar to what they've got. In that they all know what they're doing. They're all so well organised. They're all switched on. There was a bit in the game that my brother was telling me about this morning. He goes, you guys may not have seen it at the game, but he goes, there was a bit in the game where there was a mistake made by one of the Atletico players, and Godin ran in and did the recovery tackle. And then he said Godin then sprinted over to the player who made the mistake and berated him. And the player that he berated, I don't know who it was, didn't say anything, but that's leadership. He knew that was like, yo, what are you doing, man?
Yeah,
Switch on.
He knew.
If that was us, we would have just walked back.
And do you know what? Do you know what the best bit is?
No consequences, nothing.
Do you know what the best bit is? That was a 180-minute match, and for 160 odd minutes, they never had Diego Simeone on the touchline. He got sent off in the first leg and was banned to the stands for the second leg. So they performed like that without their manager on the touchline.
Yeah, but they know what's expected. They know what's expected.
They didn't need him there.
Yeah.
They didn't need him there.
That team, and then there's another thing about them, the intense way in which they play means that they're concentrated. There's a whole intensity around Diego Simeone, his number 2, the whole coaching setup and the team.
He's a scary-looking guy.
Even the fans, everything. There's an intense way in which that everything comes together there, whereas Arsenal's are relaxed.
It's comfortable.
Training ground, relaxed. Relaxed. Everything's relaxed. On the pitch, we're relaxed. I mean, like you said, we're 1-0 down. There's like 15, 20 minutes left. There's no intensities. They're going for it. Listen, don't get me wrong. They're going for it. They're trying. But I want to see intensity. And this is another thing that I've found with Arsenal over the years is that we go into a game, especially at home, we're relaxed. It takes us to go a goal down.
Before we react.
Before we're like, oh my God. And then we get intense. Why can't we be intense from the beginning?
Because
if we did that, it is the manager, and if we did that from the beginning, majority of teams that we play, we blow away.
Do you know
Apart from, we know the obvious ones.
Do you know what winds me up? I said this morning, I tweeted it out this morning, it winds me up. I watched the highlights back and everything else. In the tunnel before the game, about to come out, Monreal, Bellerin, all going around giving hugs and kisses to their players, the Spanish teammate. What? Seriously? Do it at the end of the game. Go give him a hug, bend him over, do whatever you want. I don't give a fuck. Not before the game, do you know what I mean? Not before the game. Do you know what I mean? Why are you doing that before the game?
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. I want to see you in that tunnel, looking one way, which is forward, focused. He ain't your mate. He wants to fucking beat you. He ain't your mate. You want to see him crying after 90 minutes. Then you can go over and hug him.
The new manager that comes in needs to bring an intensity and focus to that team. Their team is full of top players, but that intensity, focus, drive, that winning mentality and strength does not exist at Arsenal. We've seen it time and time over the last few years.
Too comfortable.
And that, for me, whoever that appointment's going to be, they have to address that. The mentality of the club has to change, because really and truly, going into those sort of games, we should be a bigger club than Atletico. Atletico have overtaken us because of what they've done in Europe and stuff like that. But you look at the history of Arsenal Football Club, right? And the amount of money that we can afford to pay on wages and that is more than Atletico. But they are run like a bigger club in that because they are focused on winning. Yeah. That club is a driven club. See, we're just a club at the moment that's just gliding along.
Because I know what you're saying.
Everything needs to change.
We're talking about the balance between defence, and this is why I want Allegri so much, because I think that he can give that balance between attack and defend. I watched, we were having this discussion in the main square yesterday with so many fans and stuff like that, and what done it for me when I really noticed something with Allegri, and I've watched him for a while now, and I said from last year that I wanted him, but this year when they played Spurs at Wembley and they were 1-0 down, they needed a goal. They needed to get back in that tie desperately. And he brought on a right back and a left back. And at first I'm sitting there watching my telly and I'm like, what is he doing? You need a goal and you've just brought on a right back and a left back. The reason why he did that was because Trippier and I think it might have been Ben Davis down the left-hand side were bombing down there so much and causing them that many problems. He decided, I'm going to bring a right back and a left back on and I'm going to push those two that way. Because what that does, that then stops that supply. And I'm going to make things go the opposite. Within 10 minutes, they were 2-1 up. That's a tactical genius.
Whereas Wenger yesterday...
Would you have seen Wenger do that?
Well, Wenger yesterday, I think, was just sitting there and he was just thinking, I've got my best players on the pitch.
What do I do?
I can't bring Welbeck off because we need a goal. Iwobi, Enquiries, I don't know. He's not thinking anything tactically apart from I've got my best players on the pitch.
Us fans sitting there in the stadium.
Got to go. You've got to be brave sometimes. Do something. Change something. Try something. You never know. Enquiries could have come on last night and been the absolute hero, and that could set off his career going forward. He could be the next big, like what Rashford did that time when he came on and scored that goal against those 2 goals against us. But as I said, the intensity.
There's not.
And I know also now this is the big challenge to the board of Arsenal Football Club. Are they brave enough to go and get someone like Allegri? Because to get Allegri now is difficult. We've got no Champions League football.
Yeah.
You've got other clubs after him like Chelsea. That's all right. Chelsea won't have no Champions League football either. Let's say it's the 2 clubs going head to head. Now, what you know about Chelsea is if they want Allegri,
they'll get him.
They're going to go and pull out all the stops to get him. Yeah? And remember, when they got Conte was the manager of Italy at the time. They were going into the Euros and they still got him. Yeah? This is what I want to see from our board now. Have you got it in you that you say to yourself, right, we want Allegri and ain't nothing stopping us from getting Allegri. We're going to go, we're going to put the money on the table. Or if it's Enrique, it's got to be for me now, I'm looking at a team and I'm like, this needs an experienced guy, a winner, and someone who's going to make this club a focused, intense club on getting back to where we want to be. And I think if you make the right appointment, that guy will get time now. Because I think now, listen, I was chatting to a guy on the plane yesterday and he was saying, Wenger, what he's done, he's been brilliant. He was signing very defending Wenger and stuff like that. And he was saying, Robbie, he goes, I've been around in the days of George Graham, before George Graham. He goes, we never used to win things regularly. This guy come in, he changed the mentality of the club. He made us winners. He made us one of the top. All that was very true. I said to him, I go, all that is very true. But I said, if we don't win tonight, there's no questioning.
And you could say, for argument's sake, George Graham instilled a win mentality in the club. Yeah,
he did. But, I mean, he took it to another level, Wenger, where he made us like, we were either winning or we would run us up. Every year we challenge, every year he was in the Champions League. What he's done, he has, whatever you think, he's taken us to another level, as a football club, right? A world-renowned football club. But what I said to him, I said, he overstayed, right? And I said, if he loses tonight, I said, there is no denying from even the staunchest of supporters of Arsene Wenger that this has been a terrible season. 3 wins away from home in the Premier League all season.
Still not a point in the Premier League.
Not a point in the Premier League away from home in 2018.
Out of the FA Cup to Nottingham Forest.
Knocked out of the FA Cup by Nottingham Forest. Humiliated in the final of the League Cup by Manchester City. Knocked out, I said, if we lost at Atletico Madrid, out of that, 6th, possibly 7th place. I said, come on, I go, if you got a new contract last season with the remit to come on, push it on, he's failed. When you sit down at the end of the season, he's failed horribly. And even the guy who's a big supporter of him said, Robbie, when you break it down like that and you say if we lose tonight, you're right. He would have failed horribly, right? So now the challenge to the board, let's give Arsene Wenger his send-off on Sunday. in his last home game. But the challenge to this board now, the shield has been removed. The shield has been Arsene Wenger over the years, taking a lot of flack on their behalf, taking a lot of the pressure off of them when it comes to transfers, all kind of different things. That's removed now. They brought in a new structure and everything. Are they brave enough to make the right appointment that's going to get all the fans back on side, fans excited, and get the best out of these players? And those, to me, when I look at the appointments that are available, Allegri, Enrique,
Jardine,
but I think those two in particular, I'm like, if this is a club that's looking to really push on now, after Arsene Wenger to the next level, you should be going after one of them two. Not the others. You should be going after one of those two because you're like, we're going to get an elite manager now. Because those two are in the elite, isn't it?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know, Juve been in Champions League finals, won their league, what's the name's won his league, 4 or 5 times?
Nearly about to win the
league
league
about to win it again. He's a
4
serial
ahead.
winner, isn't he?
4 points ahead, 3 games left.
Yeah, serial winner.
Yeah.
Serial winner. And the other guy, Enrique, won the treble, won Champions League. Serial winner.
You know what I like about Allegri, right, is that they had the massive title face-off a few weeks ago against Napoli, and they lost it in the last minute with Koulibaly scoring.
Yeah.
And you were thinking, whoa, they're right up their backside now, 2 points behind. And then the next game, they were playing Inter Milan away. Losing. 2-1 down, going towards the end of the game, and they turn it around.
Yeah.
More substitutions, certain twists and tweaks and tactics, turn it around 3-2, put the pressure right back on Napoli the day later, and they go and lose 3-0 away to Fiorentina.
And now they've got a chance of winning.
And now they've got that gap again.
And this is what I'm saying now. So you've got two guys that are available. I think you could argue Ancelotti as well, but I think Ancelotti is more, I don't know, is a stopgap type manager for me. Two guys, though, that are available that you could say they're elite managers that could take Arsenal to that next level. Or, you know, it could go wrong, but you know these are the big guys.
Yeah.
Are this board brave enough to appoint one of those two?
See, let me ask you a question.
Can they pull out all the stops to get one of those
We'll find out,
two?
won't we? We're going to find out very soon. Whether it's already done, but we can't announce it until the end of the season. Maybe it is Allegri and we can't announce it until he's won the Serie A. Oh, that's done.
Maybe it's the number 2 from Liverpool.
Yeah, maybe it's Arteta.
All them sort of rumours that we're hearing.
It's like, but let me ask you a question.
Number 2 from Liverpool and a £50 million war chest.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if these things are true...
£50 million war chest. Robbie's got more money than that.
This guy, man.
No, listen,
you like your jokes,
listen, look, let me ask you a question, yeah? Out of the squad, yeah, including the players that are on loan at the moment and everything else, right? Who would you get rid of this window? Because I put a list out earlier of who I would get rid of.
Right, let's go through.
Go with the goalkeepers.
Goalkeepers.
Check and Ospina.
Who
would you keep? Sell?
Well, you got to keep one because I wouldn't get rid of both.
Who would you get rid of?
I think Ospina.
Yeah, that's what
I'd get rid of Ospina and I'd go out there and I'd be looking at Oblak. I know he's got a big fee to release clause, I've heard. Or Jack Butland. If Stoke go down...
What about Leno?
Who?
Leno. Plays in the Bundesliga. He's a seriously good goalkeeper.
And it's Alisson as well, Roma. Yeah. You know what I mean? This keeper, listen.
Do you know what? I know how many goals he conceded against Liverpool, yeah?
Yeah.
But let's be honest, their defence was
exactly.
poor, but he's a good... You know what he reminded me of? He reminded me of Edison.
Yeah.
And Man City, where he's comfortable on the ball when he comes out and plays
comfortable playing it out from the back and that. He's a great goalkeeper. I like Jack Butland as well. I think Jack Butland, Premier League ready, Premier League experience.
What's his name said? What's the Stoke manager's name now? Lambert.
Yeah.
He turned around and said, like yesterday I think it was or something, that £35 million won't get his gloves. But then let's see if he says that when they're in the Championship.
When you're being relegated, if they get relegated, which is look more than likely that Stoke will, right? We can't laugh right now the way we're playing.
I can still laugh, right? I don't get it.
But if they get relegated, 30, I'm sorry, they're not going to be able to make them sort of demands, right? Because they'll be gone. So
we'll
Jack Butler, a keeper and Cech. You got Cech as an experienced number 2.
Right, Hector Bellerin. I went with get rid of him. I think he's damaged goods. I was debating the other day saying I'd like to see him under another manager, but I just don't know whether he's... I don't know whether his heart's in it.
I think under another manager, I think an Allegri would get the best out of him. I think he's been at a club for a long time.
Yeah.
So he knows Arsenal. You saw him last night, even despite, he knows it's his mistake.
Yeah.
It's cost us the game, but I give him full credit. That's why I was kind of having a go at Troops in a way.
Because
Troops was really going in on him, but I was like, he came over on his own at the end.
I know.
And I respect that.
I wonder if he'd have come that close if we was in the lower tier.
Well, you know what? But I respect that. I respect that.
No. And
I think to myself, keep him, but bring in competition
I'm
that
just
he
not
knows.
Sure whether his heart's in this club.
But I think maybe he's become comfortable. I remember if he's on his toes. If he knows that a new manager's coming, it's like, yo, you're not guaranteed.
Okay.
You ain't guaranteed.
Right.
So I think Bellerin and a new right back of top quality right back, so that the two of them are challenging for that position.
Lauren Koscielny.
I think time's up.
I think he might retire.
Really sad last night that apparently he's done his Achilles again.
And that's what's his big problem.
Yeah,
I think this could retire him.
What
is he, 34?
I don't think he'll retire.
33, 34?
Is it 32, 33? I can't remember. He's knocking on, but I personally think that,
because he's been deteriorating.
Yeah, and it's because of injuries.
Yeah.
And it's been and he's injured a lot. I think we need to replace him. I know it's ruthless to say that because he's been at the club for a while.
Yeah.
But
if you want to be a top club, then you've got to be ruthless. Mustafi.
Him as well.
Get rid of.
Needs replacing.
Yeah, I said that.
Two centre-halves.
Chambers?
I'd keep Chambers. I'd keep Chambers under a new manager, squad player.
Because I thought...
Look how he played last night.
And he played well
against Man United. I keep him. You know what I mean? You can't get rid of every centre half.
No, I know that.
I think,
I think Rob Holding's going to stay because he's just signed a new contract.
Rob Holding keep.
Mavropanos coming through.
Mavropanos is coming through. So you've got three young guys there.
And then you've got to add some experience.
You've got to add two experienced centre halves.
What about Kolasinac?
Keep. We've not even had a chance to see if this guy's any good.
He had a great first half.
Started off the season well, and then he's just fallen out of favour. And I would like to see him under a new manager. And my friends over in Germany told me that he was the best left back in the Bundesliga. They told me that he would just charge through teams. Yeah. We saw that when he first came in, and all of a sudden Wenger just dropped him.
Yeah, I remember that, and we were all scratching our head.
I want to see him under a new guy.
Nacho.
I keep Nacho as well because he's had a great season. I think it'd be unfair to turn around and get rid of Nacho Monreal. I know he's getting older now, but I think it'd be a bit unfair after he's had such a good season.
All right.
So I keep them too.
I think I know what your answer for this one's going to be. Granit Xhaka.
I'm sorry, he's not for me. Granit Xhaka's not done it for me. Now, I remember at the end of last season when a lot of people was having a go at him, I was saying it's a bit unfair. It's his first season. A lot of people get better in the next season. Do you know what? I'm kind of slightly on the fence because I'm thinking to myself, under a new manager though, maybe we might see the better of him as well. I do kind of think that he's, again, another one of those players that would really like to, he's got Arsenal in his heart, he'd really like to do well for Arsenal. A half and half with him. But I do think we need a holding midfield. Again, someone that is there that he knows he's not an automatic choice.
Yeah.
He's automatic choice. Every game he starts under Wenger, he needs competition. So maybe keep him. But he's got somebody comes in who's basically...
And then Zonzi, for example.
Yeah. Or even better.
Maybe he could play alongside him.
Or even better if possible. But
I've just given a name out there. Names that
he'd be borderline for me. He'd be borderline Xhaka.
Oh, Aaron Ramsey, I think.
Ramsey you've got to keep.
Jack Wilshere.
Jack Wilshere you've got to keep as well for me. I think Jack Wilshere, you know what I mean, he's Arsenal as well, through and through.
Just got to get that contract sorted.
You know, Jack Wilshere might be looking at it and say, yeah, I want guarantees that I've got to start every week. I don't think any player should have guarantees on starting every week.
You got to put, what about Alex Iwobi?
Alex Iwobi is under serious threat for me now.
Would you loan or sell?
Possibly loan him, make him go out there, play week in, week out another team and find his feet. Without the pressure of Arsenal fans going, no, he won't be. Because I think he's a talented player. I do think he's
love that.
I think he's got talent.
But where's it gone?
But either, I don't know, the new manager might come in and say, right, I don't think he'd be a starter. He's not going to be a regular starter under a new manager. I think maybe a loan move for Alex Iwobi to a sort of mid-table team right, where he could really find his feet, then come back, would be a good move.
Okay. Danny Welbeck.
I keep Danny Welbeck because I think Danny Welbeck's he's not a starter for me, but he's a good squad player.
See,
he's a guy. I think Welbeck's a guy that you can bring on, and he can, he can play as a striker, backup. He can play as a backup on the wing. He can play right, left-hand side, backup. As a squad, he's not my starting player. But in the squad, yeah, I'd have Danny Welbeck. I wouldn't have a problem with a Danny Welbeck. I think, again, under a manager that really demands a lot of, he could be a player worthwhile having in your team.
Obviously, Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang don't even need to talk about
Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang, to me now, these guys have to... And I'd be looking at putting Mkhitaryan possibly in that number 10 position more, where he used to play at Dortmund instead of out on the wing, and really giving a lot of confidence. Mesut Ozil's under threat to me. I know he just signed this new £350,000 a week contract. Does he deserve that right now?
Not with some
Is he could we go out there and get better? Could Mkhitaryan do what he does? I know, listen, he's got a greater record for assists and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. If the new manager's coming in again, for me, Ozil...
It's whether they like him.
Ozil needs proper competition. Mkhitaryan needs competition for him. If we say, right, if that new manager comes and says, yeah, Ozil, if you're not doing it, Mkhitaryan's going to be starting. Somebody who really puts the fear of life into Ozil and says, yo, you need to give me 100% of Mesut Ozil, the best of, every week, or you ain't playing. Because at the moment, every minute the guy's not even playing. Oh, I'm sick. He's got the flu.
That's what I said to you.
Do you think under Allegri or Enrique and these guys, he'd be, Ozil, when he's at a press conference, where's Ozil this week? Oh, we're giving him a few days off because he wasn't feeling well. Oh, we made him go to Turkey. And what's going on with this guy?
Yeah.
I want somebody who's going to say to... Do you think Simeone, he could turn around to Simeone and turn around and say, I've got the flu. I had the flu last week. I don't fancy it this weekend.
Simeone would be like, yeah, you'll have more than a fucking flu in a minute.
Yeah. I want someone that's going to say to Ozil, I want to see the best of Mesut Ozil every... If we see the best of Mesut Ozil, intense Mesut Ozil, focused Mesut Ozil every week, then I keep him. But if it's what we're getting now, might be better off getting someone else in.
And Lacazette, all day keeping.
Lacazette, I keep. You need two strikers all the time. You've got him and Aubameyang. I like the fact that those two is going to be competition for each other. I like the fact... Play them together as well. Yeah. Look at last night. Did Griezmann not play alongside Costa?
Yeah, I know.
This is the thing. Oh, man. Honestly,
it gets so annoying when you think about it.
It's frustrating. Diego Costa and Antoine Griezmann played up front together in a 4-4-2 against Arsenal. They're not playing against a fringe little club. They're playing Arsenal in a semi-final, and they're playing two up front. Why can't Aubameyang and Lacazette play together up front? Because we're not brave enough to try those sort of things.
And with the squad players, these were the other ones that I was mentioning. Cole Jenkinson, got to get him off the books.
Carl Jenkinson, injuries has done him, and he's got to crack on with his career. Get him off the books,
Joel Campbell, get him off the books.
Of course. What's this all about? Joel Campbell's been...
No, I'm asking you, what would you do?
We've got to get him off the books, innit?
Would you give him another chance? Would you, under a new manager, that's what I'm asking.
He's been injured now. I think he's gone now, isn't it?
Lucas?
He deserved a chance
before. Lucas?
Off the books. What has Lucas done on loan? It's like they want to send him back.
Yeah.
He's done nothing, has he? Yeah. I mean, he did... Again, he was... harshly treated when he's at Arsenal. He didn't do too bad, but we've got Lacazette and Aubameyang, so he's unfortunate for him. The boat has sailed, so Lucas has got to come off the books.
How many top draw players, like when you say, top caliber, like that level, because you're going to need, with the amount we want to get rid of.
Spine of this team.
Yeah, would you say like 4 or 5, like real? I said 4 to 5. I said goalkeeper, 2 centre backs, defensive midfielder.
Yep.
That's your main 4.
Yep.
Like that real spine. Because then when you add the 2 strikers to that, then you're fine.
To me,
And I think we need a winger.
Yeah,
Natural winger.
So this would be my strategy for the summer. If I was the manager, I'd be like you said, goalkeeper, nailed on. We've seen it.
Yeah.
Right? 2 centre-halves. One of those centre-halves has to be somebody of the highest quality. A bit like what Liverpool done by getting a Van Dijk.
Let me throw something in there. If it's Allegri, yeah?
Yeah.
You can spend big money on one centre-back.
Chiellini.
Right? No, Koulibaly, right? Get him. You know Chiellini?
Yeah.
He's a free agent.
Is he?
This summer. Free agent.
Get him.
So would you,
I know he's getting old,
he's 33,
but get him. He'll
he's
organise
33,
that.
Contract runs out.
Don't
If Allegri says to him, come over for a couple of years, come and be my linchpin. I know
brainer.
you.
No brainer. You get him in. He teaches Callum Chambers and those guys. You get him in with another top centre half. Brilliant.
Yeah, and then you
he's
imagine
33, but he doesn't play like a 33-year-old.
And then you watch when he played the likes of Tottenham.
Yeah,
and
he's so wily.
His body in front of
he's
things.
such a wily guy, right? That he doesn't need to run up around and get him, right? So somebody of that ilk, a free agent. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, contract runs out.
Should be on that straight away, right? So,
and that's why I'm thinking if it's an Allegri, then obviously his relationship with Allegri is good, and Allegri says to him, "Listen, let's try something new.
Yeah,
come on, come out of Serie A, come with me." Come in here.
Because you know, like these managers, they like to bring a couple of players they trust.
You be my foundation.
Yeah.
You be the man that's going to go in that middle.
You be like almost like my cap. You be almost
like
my John Terry.
You know, like what John Terry was. He might even make him captain.
Yeah, you know John Terry and players like that. That they almost like. I think Wenger said it one time. It's like having a coach on the pitch. That's what Chiellini would be.
That's what Vieira used to be.
Yeah, and those men bring the mentality. Even if they're knocking on a bit, they bring that mentality of winning. That we're not going to put up with no half move. That guy Godin's 33.
Yeah.
33 years. Did he play like that last night and over the 2 legs?
And that's what I mean. When I saw Chiellini's like out of contract in the summer and it hasn't been sorted, I'm thinking...
You bring him in, you get 2 years out of that guy easy, right?
Yeah.
Right? So 2 experienced centre-halves, right?
Defensive midfielder.
A defensive midfielder all day long. And then I think now a winger, like you said up front. Somebody who's going to be an exciting winger. Somebody like a Riyad Mahrez.
I know the 2 names that you're going to drop.
I like Mahrez, I like Zaha. You know me, I like those two.
I know it.
But the one that I'd really like Arsenal to get would be somebody like a Riyad Mahrez. I think you're raising the club up levels when you bring in a guy like that.
What?
It excites the fans. It puts fear into the other teams that play Arsenal.
What do you feel about Lamar still? I know he's gone off the bottom.
Lamar would be a good signing, but I'd be more excited by Mahrez.
Really?
Yep.
What about Dembele, if there's a chance?
That would be exciting. I mean, there's been lots of rumours about Dembele.
Would you do a swap deal with Bellerin?
Of course, all day long, and then just go in and get like a real solid right back. No, but you know what? There's solid right backs as well that you can consider. Guys that are just like maybe they're not up and down the wing.
Is it Sidibe? Is it?
You know.
What's his name that plays right back? I forgot his name now. There's a few that I've seen that...
There's a few solid right backs, you know what I mean?
Could really
bit
go
like,
for.
I think we kind of need a right back like when we had Bakary Sagna. Bakary Sagna in his prime. Remember, he was so good, man.
Or Lauren.
Yeah, because those guys, they were... Not only could they get down the wing, but they were... I mean, Bakary Sagna's crossing weren't great, but he was like a solid as a ox. You knew... Do you think last night, what you saw happen last night, would that have happened under Bakary Sagna when he was, or Lauren when they were playing?
No. Even Lee Dixon, he switched off like that.
Right? So, and then with the players now, a new mentality. The comfort is gone. The comfort, I've come in as manager, the comfort business is gone. Who don't play good ain't playing.
Yeah.
You ring me up and tell me about flu, you better be... When I send the doctors round, you better be in your bed with a temperature of 100 and whatever, right? Can't move,
dead.
Your bones, otherwise you're playing, right? When you play a game on Sunday in the, you play a game on a Thursday in the Europa League, don't be telling me about you don't want to play, can I have this, or be expecting to be rested for Sunday's game. Look at Pep Guardiola. Look at the intensity around that team. How many times do you see De Bruyne get rested?
I know. They won the league.
This player, that player.
I was watching an interview with Raheem Sterling with Thierry Henry after they won the league. And he turned around and said that the training for the week after they won the league was worse than pre-season.
What normally happens, when teams win the league,
They just relax.
Switch off.
Guardiola's took them to an intense level.
They lost the game.
No.
Since they've won the league.
They're smashing teams still.
They're going and smashing teams
because
4 or 5.
Guardiola wants over 100 points.
Yeah, they want over 100 points. They want record. That's what I want at Arsenal. I want someone that is driven. I want someone as manager that when he goes to Atletico, right, like last night, he's like, yo, Arsenal in town, man.
Yeah, we're not scared of you.
Not guaranteeing we're going to come here and win, because you guys are a great team, but you know what? Arsenal in town. Expect war. The when we go to games now, even like away games, right? We've got Leicester and Huddersfield coming up. Those teams should be thinking, wow, Arsenal are coming. Expect war, man.
Now they think, wow, Arsenal are coming. Expect 3 points.
Yeah, they're like, or even maybe they're not saying expect 3 points, but they're like, Arsenal's coming.
Really?
But you know what?
With our way
well, but they'll be like, we've got a chance. We can get at him. We can do this. Nah. We need some warriors there with them, man, are thinking, oh, man, you know what? When everyone's like, you know, like the week build-up, right? They're all trying to convince themselves that, yeah, man, it's Arsenal, we're going to win. But then in the back of their minds, like, yeah, man.
Yeah, they're like,
this man, that man.
And then you imagine we get that spine sorted out and they were going, Jesus Christ, they've got a Koulibaly, or they've got a Chiellini, they've got a what's it in goal, they've got... You'd be like, we're going to have our
So
work
for me
out,
now, honestly, when I look at it last night and I think, I want one of them too. I want either Allegri or Enrique. I'm going to be disappointed.
Let me ask you one last question there.
Turn interviewer now.
I know, I'm getting it right, innit? He's teaching me well, innit? You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, you're going to see next week, it's going to be like, Robbie, disappointing result today. I can't believe you never dropped that opening line on me last night, DT, disappointing result.
I was so gutted last night.
You know the final game of the season, Huddersfield?
Yeah.
Right, there's a risk that they could go down, yeah?
Yeah.
If final game of the season, Huddersfield needed to beat us and it confirmed Stoke being relegated, or we beat them, Stoke survive, and Huddersfield go down, would you slightly want us to lose that game just so Stoke go down?
No, I want us to win every game.
Nah, fuck that. I don't care.
Listen,
I want Stoke to be relegated.
I don't care about...
If we can't move out of 6th place, yeah, we're not going 5th, we're not going 7th, we're not going anywhere.
I'd love to see Huddersfield stay up because I think the way they fought this season without no money and all that.
Exactly, they've been a credit.
That manager's been a great manager to come up and be brave and to be trying to play football and stuff like that.
Yeah, they've been a credit. And then we can get rid of the rugby club.
I'd love to see Huddersfield stay up, but at the end of the day, I want to see a win away from home, man. I've been getting
what if we beat Leicester before then? What if we beat Leicester before then? We get that win.
Yeah, I want to see a couple of wins away from home. Up and down the motorway every bloody week, man, and then every week driving home. It's been a long, hard season, man.
I think we played 61 games so far.
Every week driving home, man, you know what I mean? My phone's going off, people bantering me and stuff like that. Like last night, sending me pictures of Diego Costa, Chelsea fans.
Oh, no, I was
like
getting L celebration and all that, gifts and stuff.
Come on, at least give us a couple of wins away from home before the end of the season. What is the season going to end and we ain't got a point in 2018 away from... And then remember, that moves it... That stat passes down into the new season.
So then the manager's got to change it.
You know what the stats guys are like? Arsenal have now gone 8 months without...
Even though they forget that there's 3-4 months in between when there's been no football. So it's like...
It's important.
Yeah.
Finish the season off.
All right, well, let's get a point. Let's get the 3 points at Leicester. Yeah. And then let's let Huddersfield win so Stoke get relegated. No, unless they're relegated before.
I only care about, listen, whatever it's up to them. Huddersfield do their own business.
I want Stoke to be relegated, man. What did I say to you the other week? I want to see all of them lot. Return of the living dead. Get in the Championship. Go play Harlequins and Saracens, you mugs.
Listen, coming towards the end now. Listen, someone else is coming towards the end. It's Arsene Wenger. And they got like celebrations for him at the weekend. The club released a statement that you can go into the armoury and you can sign a book of, you know, not condolences, but a book of thanking him in the armoury. And they're going to have a T-shirt on every seat for the fans that you can wear. Double X for me, please. Right, on every seat. And although I lost a bit of weight, maybe I could get into an XL. Right. or an L. Might be able to get into a large if it's depending on the fit. No,
Get out of it.
Large is fitting me now. Right, but they're going to be doing the celebrations, and then at the end of the game, they're going to do.
They're doing something at half time as well,
do something at half time
to commemorate the fans.
Yeah, Vic Akers is
passed away.
Yeah, and also Vic Akers at the end of the game. I think he's leaving.
Alex Scott,
Per Mertesacker. Per Mertesacker is the captain of the.
And he
played a game this season
because he doesn't want to play. What's he been getting paid for? Don't get me started again. We've got a whole new podcast.
This is what I'm saying. Comfortable. Yeah. Anyway,
you know what I mean.
We ran out of time for that.
What I will say about the whole thing, I'm gonna go and write in the book and appreciation. I'm
gonna wear the T-shirt.
No.
You gotta go out in the morning.
No.
Why?
Because I don't want to get it creased. I'm selling it on eBay.
You're not selling that on eBay.
I am.
You're not selling that on eBay.
I'm selling that. I'm going to wait for him after the game where he always goes to meet
You're
Ty.
not selling that on eBay.
I'm getting him to sign it. You know how much money I'll get for that? I'm selling that. Hustler.
Remember, you should wear that T-shirt.
No. I'm actually going to walk around everyone's seats and just take loads of them. I'm going to have about 20 for sale on eBay.
And I wouldn't put it past him either. And do you know what? You should wear the T-shirt because let's now just... we'll talk about it more.
I'll be a hypocrite if I were.
We'll talk about it.
I can already...
No, you're not going to be a hypocrite.
I already know.
We'll talk about it more on next week's podcast, but at the end of the day, I want you to view the whole thing over 22 years instead of just the last few years.
Yeah, I have. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the banner and I'm going to cut it in half. Thanks for the memories.
Do you not think he deserves...
I'm gonna clap him. I'm gonna applaud him off, and I'm gonna wish him well for his future and his life and his health and everything else.
Because now
But this is what we needed. We needed this as a football club.
Whatever we needed, we've got now,
and
right?
It's
but
done.
now that the man is leaving,
I'll clap him.
Why wouldn't you wear the T-shirt that they're giving you?
I don't want to wear it.
Why?
Because it's probably a Fruit of the Loom one.
Fruit of the Loom. Stop dodging the question. Why?
Because I don't want to wear it.
Why not?
Because it'd be hypocritical.
Judge it over. It's not hypocritical. It's not. Did you not used to when we won league titles and stuff like that?
Yes, I did.
Was you not celebrating?
But it's got to a point
when you went 49 games undefeated. Was you not proud of his team?
Of course I was. I was so proud.
Well, judge it over the whole thing. Judge it over the whole thing.
No, because you know what? It's split down the middle.
Judge it over the whole.
Half of it's been absolute shit, and half of it's been amazing.
When did you pick up that banner and start protesting?
2011.
Yeah, 2011, 7 years ago. How long's he been here?
So
the majority of time that he was here, right, for you, he done great things.
But there was still years before that.
Wait, he done great things for you for the majority.
I know that.
Right?
I know that.
So there's no, listen, stop,
Robbie,
don't worry, wait a minute. Don't worry about what the perception's going to be from people on Twitter and stuff like that. You should look on it on
you
the
should
whole...
know I couldn't give a shit what anyone says on
Well, then
Twitter.
exactly, that's why you should look on it as a whole, because you're worried about people saying, oh, look at him, hypocrite, and he had a go at Wenger. You should look on it that you're now assessing the guy on this whole time at Arsenal, and you've just said, right, for 15 years of that, you were happy with him. That's the majority. So celebrate him.
I'm not wearing it.
Celebrate him.
I'll clap him. I will applaud him off. I will wish him well. I will thank him for the memories. And I will wave goodbye.
If he puts a T-shirt on eBay, do not block it. Report him to eBay. And
what are you going to report me to eBay for?
Or wherever.
Go on.
Because that'd be disgusting.
Hold on. How are you going to report me to eBay?
But don't be putting that T-shirt on eBay. What are you on about?
It's nothing to do with you.
Arsenal Football Club, do not put a thing on his seat then.
Listen. Do you remember how many people were selling the scarves from the cup finals?
Yeah, keep it, man.
And do you see how much they were going for? Do you know how much these were going for? I'll tell you what, it was like 150, 200 quid people were paying for them. I'll tell you what I do then. I'll put it on eBay and I'll sell it. Yeah? And I'll give the money to the Arsenal Foundation.
Whatever you want to do, man. Actually, I'm going to get mine. I'm going to frame it up and put it in this. You
better not pull it up when we're doing a podcast. You're going to stick it over there, in the corner.
Actually, chuck that over a minute.
Oh,
got a present for you, man.
You can shove that where the sun don't shine.
One Arsene Wenger.
And wait there.
There's only one Arsene Wenger.
Oh no, it ain't Fruit of the Loom.
See that? Ain't Fruit of the Loom. Thanks for watching the podcast today. Don't forget, check the link below where you can download the podcast. You can get it on all formats, of course. thank you to Callio. We're going to give this away to the person who's given us a good comment on the video today. Don't forget to tune into all of content we're going to be having over the weekend. It is a kind of I say special weekend, but because of we've been all a bit deflated because of what happened in the Europa League. But it's Arsene Wenger's last game at the Emirates, the place that he was helped to build. His last game after 22 years on Sunday against Burnley. Let's hope we can get a win there, and let's hope we give him a decent send-off for a very decent guy, done a lot for this club. No matter what has happened in recent times, you judge it over the fullness of his career. He has been an Arsenal great. We'll be back next week. Hi, and welcome along to the All Guns Blazing.
That's going to go at the end of the show.
Just spat my tea all over him. I had a whole mouthful of tea when he said that.